Hi everyone, this is Rebecca Keppel. I am here today with a new card video, and I'm sharing how I used a layering stamp to create a background and two colors of ink to create a focal image. These are the products that I'm going to be using today. They are from Altenew. This is the Painted Rose set, the With Sympathy smaller stamp set, and 4 different colors of the Altenew crisp inks. These are new to me. They are Arctic, Caribbean Sea, Persian blue, and sapphire is the darkest color. So I'm going to start off with a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece of white cardstock. This is Nina Solar White in 80 pound. And I'm using one of the layers from the Painted Rose set. Now this is a large rose and it has 3 different stamps in it. This is the most detailed layer of the stamps. I'm using the Arctic Sea ink, which is the lightest ink in that series. And you can see that I'm just moving the stamp around and covering the background with it, basically creating my own pattern paper. The next thing I'm going to do is use the With Sympathy flower, and I'm going to stamp that with Caribbean Sea, which is the next color up in the series. So you can see it's a really pretty blue. The next thing I'm going to do is take the third color, which is the Persian blue, and I'm just going to put it on the edges of the stamp set. I'm going to use my finger to kind of blend it in, and then I'm going to stamp it again. Now I'm going to use 2 different colors of Simon Says stamp green ink to stamp the leaves. I didn't have any Altenew greens, so I thought I would use Green Apple and then Lucky from Simon Says stamp so that I can get 2-toned leaves as well. You can see that I'm wiping away the stem and then I'm blending in that darker color just a little bit so that it doesn't have any harsh edges or lines to it. I wanted a little bit more of that darker color to really get some 2-toned effects, so I did stamp it again. Next, I'm going to line up a double stitch circle die from My Favorite Things and temporarily adhere it with some Thermoweb purple tape and cut that out with my Sizzix machine. I've trimmed down the stamped panel so that it is still 4 1/4 wide, but it's only 5 inches tall, and I'm going to adhere it to some Simon Says stamp green cardstock so that you get that nice strip of green at the top and the bottom, which really coordinates well with those stamped leaves because I believe it is one of the colors of the ink that I used. They have coordinating cardstock that matches their ink as well. I have a piece of white fun foam and I'm going to cut out a circle just slightly smaller than that die cut circle that we created with the flower in between. And I could have die cut the foam, but I just didn't have time to do that. So now I'm going to use some Memory Runner XL on the paper and adhere it to the foam. And when you're adhering a tape runner like this directly to the foam, you just have to go a little bit slower to make sure that the tape runner catches on the foam and that you're not getting just blank spaces with no adhesive. I'm going to take a couple of sentiments from the Painted Rose set and I'm going to ink them up with the darkest ink in the series, which is Sapphire. And you can see that I am able to, with the acrylic block, even though I already popped up that die cut circle, I am able to stamp it and get a nice clean stamp as long as I kind of lean in and make sure that it's nice and straight. So I grabbed a Spectrum Noir shimmer brush pen and I'm adding a little bit of shimmer to all of the petals on the flower. The nice thing about using this, other than the fact that you get some really pretty shimmer on that flower, is that it does help to blend out any of the inks so that if you have 2 of the ink colors and a little bit of a harsh line, it helps blend them together a little bit. The next thing I'm going to do is grab some Tonic Studios Nuvo Jewel Drops in the green color that really coordinates well with both the green cardstock and the green inks, and just place a few drops all around that flower for some dimension and some shine and embellishment. The last thing I'll do is grab a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch top folding note card and adhere this card panel down to it with some Thermoweb Memory Runner XL, just making sure that it's nice and straight and lined up and covering that entire card base. And that completes this card. Really easy to just grab one of the layers of a layering stamp set and create your own background, and then grab 2 coordinating colors of ink to create a focal image. If you're interested in any of the Altenew products that I used or any of the products that I used today, they'll all be linked down below. You can click here to subscribe, click over on the right hand side to go over to my blog, and then I'll have a couple of videos here that you might be interested in watching. I want to thank you so much for stopping by today. Have a wonderful day.